Hey, hi students. We are back to see the fourth part of French Revolution. In first three parts, we discussed how the events are taking place to make France a republic country. Okay? How the people are molding their minds to bring new changes for their country. In first part, we saw what were the reasons behind French Revolution. In second part, we saw that how the people, because of bad condition living in the country, they were changing their mindset and they were trying to bring the change in France. Okay. Subsequently, we also discussed how tennis court oath took place, how they drafted the constitution, how agrarian revolt took place in addition to that, isn't it? And after that, Louis XVI, he had to accord newly drafted constitution, and finally France became constitutional monarchy as we know about it. But afterwards, Louis XVI, he tries to negotiate with Prussian king and he tries to attack his own country by foreign invaders. When people come to know about it, again they attacked on the king, they attacked on the Prussia and Austria by singing the Marseillaise song, isn't it? And then finally France becomes republic country. When France became a republic, the power was held by Maximilien Robespierre, and before him we have seen how Marie Antoinette and Louis XVI was guillotined in 1793. Okay, so then Maximilien Robespierre comes in the power, and how vigorously, we can say, or relentlessly, how he was using his power. Okay, because as I told you, absolute power corrupts. Power corrupts, and absolute power absolutely corrupts. Okay, so this was happening, and finally, because of his relentlessness, he was also killed by the people of France only. Even his supporters also, they were against him. Then seeing this condition with Maximilien Robespierre, that the power should not be concentrated in one hand, it should be divided. Only then it will not be misused. That's why they thought that there should be two houses, two councils, as Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha is there in our country. Same like that, there will be two houses, and these two houses will elect five members, and those five members will be executives, as we say cabinet ministers. Same like that, those five persons will take decision regarding the country. Okay, but this directory was always having a conflict with councils, these two uh, what we can two councils. So seeing this, finally Napoleon comes and he captures the power, and again the power rests with a military dictator. So this is the story of France. So finally, again the power came, a kind of monarchy came in France. The dream of the French people, they were thinking that there should be a rule where people will rule their own country. But again, military dictator comes and he holds the power and he rules the country. Finally, whatever they didn't want, it happened in France. Earlier, monarch was there, he ruled the people, and after a few changes, after a few years, again the power goes in hands of Napoleon, who was a military dictator, and forcefully he also brings some changes in the France. Definitely, somewhere he was good, somewhere the decision he has taken, somewhere it was wrong. Okay, so here we have this was the story of French Revolution. Now, what was the role of women in this revolution, that we will see in this lesson now, in our fourth part. Okay, what was the conditions of women in France? See, the ladies, those who were at that time, for earning their livelihood, they had to work for living as seamstress or laundress or florist or servant. They used to work and to get the money, but they didn't have the access to education, or there was no any professional job training to them. As I told you earlier, that there was a concept that they should take care of home and hearth, but only the women, those who were from nobility and high middle class, they were having this opportunity to get education and job training. Wages were lower than men. Nowadays you can see in some fields, definitely in all fields it is not given, but those which are government jobs, it is not distinguished. If she is a lady, then she will get low wages, and he is a man, that's why he will get more wages. It's not like that. Everywhere it is same now. But at that time, seeing their physical power, they were given lower wages than men. That was the condition of women in France. What was the political condition of women? See, at that time there were political clubs. As I told you earlier, there were Jacobin clubs in which these women used to come and they used to discuss about it. There were many clubs, but among them, the, sorry, sorry, but among them, the Society of Revolutionary and Republican Women was very famous. Okay, what was the demand of this society? The first and the most important demand was to get the right to vote and political rights, that they will also get the right to contest the election. Second, there was demand from them that they should also get education, and lawful marriages should take place, not forceful marriages. Legally, marriages should go on. Okay, means without permission, without approval of that girl, she should not get married with anybody else. Okay, at that time there was a system. Fourth one, that divorce can be given from the side of male gender only. Female didn't have that right to give divorce to male. But this was, see again, how the idea is coming in their mind, how philosophers were radiating their ideology throughout the France. The demand of women that they should also have right to give divorce to male. Okay, so that demand they were asking for, that was their demand. Then there should be a training, professional training should be available in job, business and artist. Okay, then there were some women, those who were prominent, they were executed during the reign of terror. Movement for right to vote continued, and finally 1946 French women got right to vote. As I told you in my last lecture, 1793 to 1794, during this year is called Reign of Terror, as you know. In this 1 year, Maximilien Robespierre was ruling France, but he had brought two very nice changes. If you see in the terms of democracy, he gave right to women to vote, and second, there was not a condition. It means everybody, those who are above 21, they can vote. It was not the condition that only propertied section will vote. That was not the condition in this reign of terror. So in this 1 year, everybody had right to vote. The condition is he must be above 21. But after 1794, middle class government comes. Okay, and they changed this rule again. The women, they were denied from voting, and only propertied section will vote. That was the condition after 1794, you can see in the France. Okay, so finally when French women got the right to vote, you can see how much they had to wait. Finally in 1946, French women got the right to vote. You can see how much they have struggled to get the right to vote. Means government is ruling them, but they have not appointed them. So that was the condition in France. Let it be. That was the political condition of women. Okay, so next, here is one source. You can see Olympe de Gouges. As I told you, during this 1 year reign of terror, many revolutionary women, they were killed. Okay, so 1793, Olympe de Gouges was one of them. Let's see about her. Olympe de Gouges was one of the most important of the politically active women in revolutionary France. She protested against the constitution and the Declaration of Rights of Man and Citizen, as they excluded women from basic rights that each human being was entitled to. means women were excluded from fundamental rights. You know, there is a very famous sentence, all men are equal. Okay, this sentence came from American Constitution, all men are equal. But do you know, in this men, two two persons were not included. One was women into bracket, except women and Negroes. Okay, they were excluded from this. All men are equal, but this fundamental right was rejected for women. That's why she writes in 1791, she wrote a Declaration of Rights of Women and Citizens, which she addressed to the Queen and to the members of the National Assembly, demanding that they act upon it. In 1793, Olympe de Gouges criticized the Jacobin government, that is, Maximilien Robespierre's government, for forcibly closing down women's clubs. She was tried because, do you remember what was the ideology of Maximilien Robespierre? Home and hearth. They should not discuss about it. They are not entitled to discuss. He was thinking so. That's why their women's club was closed, and that's why she criticized. She was tried in the court by the National Convention, and finally we charged her with treason. Treason means betrayal with the country. Soon after this, she was executed. Okay. Next source we will see, source F. What does this source say? Some of the basic rights set forth in Olympe de Gouges Declaration. What Olympe de Gouges says about the fundamental rights that we will see here. Woman is born free and remains equal to man in rights. Outright statement, isn't it? Second, the goal of all political associations is the preservation of the natural rights of women and man. These rights are liberty, property, security, and above all, resistance to oppression. It should be same for all. Third right she talks about, the source of all sovereignty resides in the nation, which is nothing but the union of woman and man. Fourth, the law should be expression of the general will. All female and male citizens should have a say, either personally or by their representatives in its formulation. It should be the same for all. All female and male citizens are equally entitled to all honors and public employment according to their abilities and without any other distinction than that of their talents. No woman is an exception. She is accused, arrested, and detained in cases determined by law. Women, like men, obey this rigorous law. Can you see, at that time, before I think 200 years back, she's talking about the rights of women. She's talking about human rights. She's talking about the equality between man and woman. Okay, so from this you can see how much visionary she was. But finally, she was killed in 1793 during Reign of Terror. Then source G. In this source, in 1793, the Jacobin politician Chaumet sought to justify the closure of women's clubs on the following grounds. Chaumet was a lady again. She was a politician, but she justified it that women's clubs should be closed. She justified. Why? What she says, let's see. Has nature entrusted domestic duties to men? Has she given us breasts to nurture babies? No, she said to men, be a man, hunting, agriculture, political duties, that is your kingdom. And she said to women that be a woman. The things of the household, the sweet duties of motherhood, those are your tasks. Shameless are those women who wish to become men. Have not duties been fairly distributed? See how there is a contrast between these two ideas, Olympe de Gouges and Chaumet. They both were ladies, but one was justifying the closure of clubs, women's club, and one was against it. Okay, so that was the condition of women in France. So here we finish our fourth part of our lesson. Now we are moving towards part 5, abolition of slavery. As you know, it was most discussed topic at that time. It was the biggest issue. As I told you earlier, all men are equal. All men are equal. but Negroes are not included in that. They were treated as animals. If you see the photos on internet, you will come to know how they were just packed in ships and they were carried from one island to other island. Okay, they were not, definitely they were not paid, they were just sold like commodity. Can you imagine this? How much harsh behavior was there against these slaves? It is said that Abraham Lincoln fought for slavery, means slavery should be abolished. So he fought for that because in his childhood only he had seen such a condition where a man, a woman, they are sold like commodity. That was the problem with slavery. So here you can see in 18th century uh, there was a triangular business of slavery. You know why? See, this is Europe and here it is of France. Okay, there are two ports. I will name them Bordeaux and Nantes. Here you can see Bordeaux and Nantes. These were two ports from the France. Okay, and they used to come Africa because see their business is going on here in this Cuba. Okay, this at this place they are growing something and they are importing all that material to France again back. But who will cultivate here? Because the people of France, as they are educated, well learned, standard people, they don't want to go far away from their home here. They don't want to leave their motherland. So who will work there? There must be a man force, isn't it? So what to do? That's why these French people, European people, they came here, Africa. You can see some ports here. They took some slaves from here and they just took them here. Slaves were carried to this area. Okay, which were those ports? They were colonies in Caribbean: Martinique, Guadeloupe and San Domingo. These were three very popular colonies in Caribbean of European countries. Okay, and from Bordeaux and Nantes the business was going on in France. Okay, so in this way you can see it had taken triangular shape. Tobacco, cotton, sugar, molasses, it was imported from America to Europe. So in these three continents the business was going on. Okay, I hope it is clear to you what exactly I am saying. How the slaves are transported from Africa to America, from America how these products are which are cultivated or produced by these slaves, they are being carried from America to France. Okay, and then using this raw material they are producing something else and manufactured goods is transported to other countries. Okay, so colonies in Caribbean: Martinique, Guadeloupe and San Domingo, French ports Bordeaux and Nantes. Okay, in 1794, as it was discussed in convention, and finally slaves got the freedom. But again slavery was abolished in 1794. But again when the power was seized by Napoleon, he again reintroduced the slavery after 10 years, means 17 sorry 18 1805 almost, yes. In that year he again reintroduced the slavery. But finally if you see the world's history, in 1848 finally slavery abolished in France. It has traveled such a these many years and then it is abolished. But throughout these years the slaves, they had been tortured a lot. If you listen the speech of Nelson Mandela, you will come to know the torture of these people, how they were tortured. Okay, chalo fine. So in this way slavery was abolished. Okay, now the last part of our lesson, the revolution and everyday life. When it was going on, the ideas which came from France, liberty, equality, fraternity, these ideas were occupying the world. Many countries they were influenced by these ideas. Earlier in 1789, censorship censorship law was abolished, and means censorship law you might have heard about it. As you know, if any film is going to be released, before that government has to give approval to that movie to be released. That is called censor board. But at that time there were no movies, no TVs. So what was the publishing publishing tool? That was newspapers, journals, uh, magazines, etc. So whatever you are going to write, first it was checked by the king or his ministers. Only then it was being published before 1789. But after the attack of Bastille, the censorship law was abolished and people started writing freely. Okay, then you know the names: Jean-Jacques Rousseau, Mirabeau, all these philosophers. They started writing, and their ideas were spreading everywhere in the France. By freedom of expression, people started expressing themselves, and ideas moved in France rapidly. It is considered that Napoleon is considered as a modernizer in upcoming years. Definitely, he has done that. There were uh, when you will go in 10th, our first lesson, nationalism in Europe. In that first lesson, our lesson will start with Napoleon only. In that lesson, we will see how Napoleon modernized his army, his country, as there were many currencies. 32 currencies were there. Okay, he just made two. He brought it to two. Then there were different ways weighing measurements. So he just brought it together and made one. Then he brought the banking system, transportation, military discipline, all these things he brought in France, and that's why he's called modernizer of France. You know, there were some Indians, those who were also influenced by the idea of French Revolution, and they were Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Tipu Sultan. After French Revolution also, all these ideas were being discussed in the world: liberty, fraternity, and equality. Okay, so if I ask you what was the which diamonds come out of this big revolution, so you can say liberty, fraternity, and equality. These three jewels came out of this revolution. Many people died for this revolution to get real independence, to live the life, to live free life of our in their own country. They had fought a lot, and that's why these ideas inspired a lot to the world. Okay, and French people, they also got inspiration from American Revolution, and from French Revolution people are getting those ideas, and still they are getting inspired. So here our lesson gets finished. Okay, I hope everything is clear to you. But as I say always, my doors are open for you. You can write comments, you can ask me any questions, it will be answered. Okay, and very interesting lesson it was. So here we'll stop. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.